Neuroscientist Andrew Huberman has published a training methodology that brings together the best scientifically proven productivity practices to take learning to a whole other level. The first step is to increase alertness. Often our brains are full of unnecessary information, even when we're not doing anything. One simple way to remove unnecessary thoughts is to take 25 to 30 deep breaths. After exhaling, you should hold your breath for 15 to 60 seconds. But you don't have to force yourself to hold your breath. Start breathing normally as soon as you feel shortness of breath. The second stage is concentration. Often in the study is not enough concentration. To fix this, you can use a very simple exercise. You need to stare at a single point on a wall or object for 30 to 60 seconds just before you start studying. Despite the seeming ease, it is not easy to do this exercise. The third step is repetition of the action. Often, the level of skill in many areas depends not on the level of knowledge, but on the number of repetitions. Repetitions can be in the form of problem solving or physical repetitions, if let's say it is driving a car. We progress linearly in learning by repeating the same process, and each time, the same process needs to be repeated a little faster than before, until it becomes a reflexive process. The fourth step is to expect mistakes and embrace them in a way that enhances your learning. Making mistakes while studying causes stress. Let's say you thought a task was easy and would take 30 minutes to solve, but when you start solving it, you have problems with the solution and take 4 hours instead of 30 minutes. This puts you into a state of stress, and this is normal because stress increases alertness and increases the activation of neural connections. At the same time, you need to make sure that study errors are not a frequent occurrence because it has the opposite effect and spoils your studies. An error rate of 15 to 20% is optimal. The fifth stage is micro rest. This is when you're distracted for 10 seconds every 2 to 3 minutes randomly during your studies and do nothing during that time. Research has shown that when we're trying to learn something, and if we pause for 10 seconds every now and then and do nothing during that time, the neurons in the hippocampus and cortex engage the same patterns of neural activity that occurred when we were studying, but 10 times faster. This means that you perform 10x neural repetitions during a pause. But don't set a timer. The breaks should be random. Step 6. Limit your study time to 90 minutes. Research shows that 90 minutes is the longest period in which we can remain focused and productive. After a long period of studying, a longer break is needed. For 25 minutes of learning, a 5-minute break is sufficient. For 90 minutes, a 20 to 60-minute break is optimal. It's also worth realizing most people can't study effectively for more than 270 minutes a day. Learning beyond that loses a lot of effectiveness. The seventh step is daytime sleep or deep rest without sleep. Research shows that not deep daytime naps and deep rest without sleep can increase the speed and depth of learning. This is a very simple technique. When you have worked enough and feel you need to take a big break from studying, find a comfortable place. Set a timer for 20 to 25 minutes. Close your eyes and stay in that position until the timer sounds. This kind of rest is much more effective than usual. The eighth step is to ensure that you get quality sleep. The reorganization of significant happiness neural circuits underlying learning occurs during sleep. Think of sleep as an opportunity to learn without doing anything. You may have been able to notice how what you couldn't understand for hours today, the next day in the morning was understood in 10 minutes. This is due to the structuring of neural circuits during sleep.